I'm up in the mountains again, up by Telluride, Colorado. Today I'm working on a John Deere 410D heavy lift. So another cylinder, guys. This one you can see leaking pretty good. So I'm gonna be repacking that cylinder today. Sorry, I know it's all the only videos I've been posting is hydraulic cylinder repacks, but being winter time and thick cold oil, and you know, it's kind of my bread and butter. It's keeping me busy this winter. Just that's what I've been getting, a lot of cylinder rebuilds. So I know sometimes it gets a little monotonous, but maybe a little boring with the videos, but you know, it is what it is right now. That's what I got for work, so I'm not going to complain. But I guess video after video of it, it might start looking like one of those car repair channels where they do brake jobs all day. But at least this cylinder is a little different than some of the other ones I've been doing. So we'll see how it goes. But I got this old pig fired up. It didn't want to fire up. It was really cold, but it's fired up, so I'm gonna let it warm up for a few minutes here, suck in the boom here, and then I'm gonna move it over to a flat spot over there, or flatter spot over there, and then get after it. But it's pretty chilly today, which it's never fun when you're putting seals in, but I got the seals up front in the cab nice and warm. But yeah, up here in the high country, so hopefully this one will go good. I will be back to you guys when I got this thing pulled over here. The truck pulled over next to it, and I got some tools out, and we'll get after it. Okay, so I got it laid down at just so it's a good height for me to get to, so I'm not standing on a ladder. I got the crane on it. So what I gotta do now is take these snap rings off, at least one side, knock the pin out, take this hose off here, take this hose off up front, and then it looks like I'm just gonna pull the whole cylinder off. So I'll take these two hard lines loose and take them off, so I can pull the rod eye out, take this bolt out, knock this pin out, and then lift this sucker out of here, and then I'll start pulling bolts, pulling the cap off. But yeah, so pretty straightforward. I just like to have it laid down here, so I'm not on ladder, but it's just going to involve me taking the whole cylinder out, which is fine. So we'll just pull the whole cylinder out, set it on the stand there, and then get to taking it apart. But so I'm going to get some more tools out and start taking all this apart. Okay, so I got these lines capped off. That line capped off. I was able to take these two clamps loose, and I should be able to move these lines out of my way enough. And then what I did is I greased, like I always do, I greased both pins. And the reason I do that is it kind of lets me know how my day's gonna go, I guess. If they're not, haven't been greased in years and it's not taking grease. Anyways, so the reason I grease pins on the start of a job instead of when I put it back together, well, which I will do too, but what I'm saying is it usually lets me know how my day's gonna go. Basically lets me know if I need to start taking some aspirin for my shoulder or not, because if the grease joints are not taking grease and the pins haven't been greased in years, that's usually means it's going to be a long day, or at least a lot of sledgehammering pins out, or torches, or all kinds of nasty things. So usually if I see if it looks like it gets grease once in a while and I can get grease in the joint, it's not always the case. Sometimes even when I can get grease in them, the pins just don't want to come out. But in general, usually if I can get them to take grease, usually the pins will come out. And these ones, I started beating on them, and these pins are moving. They're pretty tight. They're not moving as nice as I would want them to, but they're moving. So that's a good, really good sign. So I'm gonna keep knocking these pins out. Now that the cylinder's out, I'm actually gonna pull my truck forward a little bit. That way I can extend out my cylinder stand here, and I'm not working right against the boom here. It'll give me a little bit more room to work. And so I'm gonna pull it forward a little bit and get this set on the stand, and then start disassembling it. So then the next thing to do, got it on the stand. I broke all these loose with a ratchet. And then I made a mark on this just for ornamentation when I put it back together. I'll let that drain for a little bit. There's probably quite a bit of fluid in that cylinder. I'll go ahead and take these caps off now. Hope things taken apart and putting back together. Anyways, so I'll let that drain for a little bit. Let all that nice milky oil drain, and then I'm gonna go see what's in this hydraulic tank. You guys know the deal. I've done enough of these videos that, you know, I can put a brand new seal kit in here, but it's not gonna last very long if the customer doesn't change usually when the oldest cylinders start leaking on machines, it's usually a lot of times it's because of the hydraulic fluid in the machine. So usually it's not, the seals aren't going to last a long time if we got crap for fluid in there. So I'm going to go take a look at the fluid, see what's in here, and tell the customer if you want this to last, you got to change the fluid. But I'm going to let that drain for a little bit and be back and take this thing apart. I'm going to use a little bit of the air compressor to help me get this out, because it's kind of, even though it's a downhill and I got gravity on my side, it's being a harder pull than I want this morning. Now it's moving. Heavy son of a gun. Gosh dang. So here's the piston. I'll go ahead and get that get this clip taken off, and there's if I remember right, there's a little keeper, yeah, right down here. There's a little slot, so get this off, and then this should pull off, and then I'll start getting to cleaning on this thing. Look inside the barrel, of course, at least get all this. It's pretty pitted up, but get all this rust, get all this with some emery cloth, some Scotch-Brite, get all this cleaned off where the O-ring sits, clean this surface up, and I'll get a flashlight and look inside the barrel, see if we have any crazy stuff going on in there. But the wear ring is pretty worn. The wear rings are pretty low, but hopefully we're okay and the barrel's okay inside. So there was quite a bit of, you know, rust and pitting around the edge here that I buffed out, and then there was, I of course cleaned this surface off, and then I also cleaned up the front of this. They're actually, you might be able to still see them. There was some pretty actually long scratches in the bore. There's not a whole lot I can do about them. But try to clean them up and smooth them out a little bit. Yeah, so it is what it is. Those scratches, I got them cleaned out the best I could, and everything smoothed out the best I can. And now I'm gonna take the barrel and take it off and put the rod on. But just wanted to show you guys that there was a little bit of scratching in the bore. I cleaned it up a little, and now I'm gonna switch positions and start on the rod. Then I just took this little clip off, and Now it should just spin right off, hopefully. There it should be. Yeah, these seals are done for. You can see there's seal everywhere inside of the piston there. All the seals are out of it. Just get the inside using some emery cloth and Scotch Brite to get everything clean. Get all the rust. Any rust and crud. These old seals that were disintegrating. Just get everything nice and clean. Since this is a bigger cylinder, I'm going to attempt to use some gravity to my advantage. I'm actually a little nervous about this one. I don't like them big gouges in the barrel. I'm worried that it might bypass a little bit. But I really doubt this guy wants to buy a whole new cylinder. But if it's too bad, I guess you won't have a choice. If it's just a little bit, you might just have to deal with it. But I'll take these down. Once I get it pinned up there, make it easier. Alright, so next step's get this thing rigged up and get it slapped back on the machine. About time. Alright, so take 3 here. This it's all put back together. I didn't get to putting the pins in on camera, but nothing too crazy. It did fight me a little bit because everything had settled a little, so I had to put one of the pins in and hook up the lines and work the cylinder back and forth and finagle things to get the pins in, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, so nothing too crazy. The lines are hooked up now. Almost looks like that sucker's leaking a little there. I have to grab a wrench real quick, but nothing too crazy. It's all put back together. I'm gonna check that line and make sure it's excuse me, I make sure that line's tight. So I'll get in here, fired up, and work it, see what we got. Work it nice and slow. Make sure all the air is out of here. This cylinder took longer than I was expecting, that's for sure. Kind of fault me a little. That's all the travel. I always like when I put a cylinder together, the first time I run it, I like to go nice and slow. So everything gets filled up and let it sit there. Something's coming out of there. I think it's water from inside the boom there. Just water draining down from that dipper, but this cylinder isn't bleeding out any. Well, that's good. That's really good. I'm actually really worried about this thing because some of them scratches. I wasn't real thrilled about some of the scratches in the bore. But it seems to be holding. No bleeding out. So I'll get out and take a look here. Oh yeah, beautiful. Just a little bit of that grease just from assembling it. Look at though, this rod had some good knockers in it there. But yeah, a little bit of assembly grease, but not a drop of oil. Golden. Another one for the books. Beautiful. Well, I'm gonna go park this machine and get the heck out of here. I got a late start today, and then this took longer than I thought, so I'm gonna be getting home in the dark, which is this time of year. It gets dark at like 5, but I still got a couple hour drive from here, like a 2.5 hour drive, so I'm gonna get going. But yeah, another one, another cylinder done. So hopefully you'll be happy with it. It took, like I said, took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I had a couple issues with those scratches in the bore. I wanted to kind of work those a little bit and smooth those out as best I could. Then the piston, there was a lot of rust on stuff, a lot of pitting, just a lot of cleaning work, more than cleaning work than normal, I'd have to say. But got her done and she's not leaking, so I am gonna, got the truck warming up down there. I'm gonna park this back up here where he had it and call it a day. All right guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be having more cylinder rebuilding videos, but I'll be having other stuff too, so keep an eye out. I mean, I got a lot of other stuff coming out, engine work, all kinds of stuff. So, but this cylinder stuff is kind of really popular right now, and I'm not complaining. So anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one.